Hello, my friend. Yet again you honor me with your presence. It's just going to be you and me today, so there's no other guests. I'll be telling you the tale of an assassin who learned the virtue of mercy. This is the tale of Billie Lurk. Billie Lurk was a woman of average height and a slight build. She had dark eyes and dark hair, which she kept short, and she often wore red, a sign of her rank within Dowd's gang. Later in her life, she lost her arm and eye in a fight, but eventually both were replaced with artifacts made from pieces of the void. Billie Lurk was born in 1813, on an island chain off the coast of the mysterious continent Pandysia. She and her mother moved to the capital of Bristol, in the center of the Empire of the Isles, Dunwall. Her mother was an abusive alcoholic, and she escaped her home life due to this. She found herself in the harsh streets of Dunwall, and turned to a life of petty crime to avoid other, less pleasant alternatives, such as prostitution. She developed a strong bond with another street urchin named Deirdre, and the two became inseparable, and eventually, lovers. The Duke of Serconis' sons, Luca and Radanis, visited Dunwall, and came across Billie and Deirdre. Luca bullied his younger brother into attacking Deirdre for laughs. Radanis struck her in the head, unfortunately ending her life. Billie, witnessing the murder, drove a wooden ornament off of the two young men's carriage through the eye of Radanis. Billie, now wanted by the law, went into hiding, and people refused to help her due to the repercussions of doing so. An assassin named Dowd, who was granted powers by a deity known as the Outsider, was present within Dunwall. One night, Billie watched Dowd kill 3 people in a matter of seconds, and was enthralled by this man's ability to so effortlessly take life, and she decided to follow him back to his hideout. Dowd, being Dowd, knew Billie was tailing him. Impressed by her fearlessness, he took her under his wing as an assassin, and she joined his gang, the Whalers. Billie was naturally gifted in the art of stealth and killing, and quickly rose through the ranks of the Whalers, becoming Dowd's second-in-command. Although her ambition was great, and she hoped to surpass and kill Dowd, and take her place as leader of the Whalers. She assisted Dowd in killing Empress Jessamine Caldwin, kidnapping her daughter Emily, and framing the crime on the Empress's bodyguard, Corvo Atano. Actions both she and Dowd would gravely regret. After the assassination, Dowd fell into a deep depression, and Billie, believing Dowd to be weak now, she plotted to kill him with the assistance of a witch named Delilah Copperspoon and the Abbey of the Everyman. After a mission, Dowd returns to his hideout to see that the Abbey of the Everyman have sent their agents, known as overseers, to storm his base and kill him. Dowd frees his captured allies and defeats the leader of the overseers. Billie confronts Dowd and tells him that she was the one to reveal the location of his hideout to the overseers. But she can't go through with it, seeing Dowd's more merciful actions and regretful demeanor not as weakness, but as strength.
How did the cursed overseers find us?
It's my fault. I told Delilah where we were hidden. She wanted me to turn on you,
You did this.
but I can't go through with it.
Stupid child. All you had to do was cut his throat.
He deserves better. I was an idiot to listen to you.
So that's your choice then, Dowd. Her betrayal would have been the sweetest. But either way, the Brigmore witches will be your end. You should have forgotten my name the day you heard it.
I think it was always understood between us that I'd see my moment and take your place. I moved too early. You weren't weak, like I thought. I'm only sorry I didn't pick a better ally. Delilah made contact with the overseers. I thought, between the 3 of us, we'd have you dead to rights.
We can blame the Zealots for that. Overseer Hume was too quick to move.
My life is yours now. Kill me, or let me live. If it even matters to you.
Touching and pathetic. If I see either of you again, I'll tear out your stone-cold hearts and walk in your skin.
I forgive you. Get out of here. Leave the city. Leave my sight, Billy. I give you your life.
Instead of trying to kill Dowd, she asks him to kill her for her betrayal. Instead, Dowd spares her life and tells her to get out of Dunwall and start a new life. Scrounging up what money she could, she headed off for Karnaca, the capital of Serkonos. She changed her name to Megan Foster and acquired a ship called the Dreadful Whale, an anagram for Farewell Dowd. She met the natural philosopher Anton Sokolov, and the two shared a close father-daughter relationship. Billie, or Megan as she was now known, also became friends with a local mine baron named Aramis Stilton, and it's safe to say the two were thick as thieves. Earlier, Dowd had sealed the witch Delilah away in a painting within the void. But Luca Abel, now the Duke of Serkonos, commenced a seance in which he was able to bring Delilah back from the void. That night, Billie was going to visit her friend, but realized something was wrong. Wanting to see if her friend is all right, she attempted to infiltrate Stilton's manor. However, her former skills with stealth had dulled over the years, and was caught by the Serkonan Grand Guard. She began to duel with the guards, but there was too many of them, and her eye and arm were removed in the fight. Fortunately, she escaped with her life, but wasn't able to save her friend Stilton, who went mad from witnessing the seance. Sokolov discovered that Delilah was plotting to overthrow Emily Caldwin, who was now Empress of the Isles. As he tried to warn her and her father Corvo, he was abducted by a mass murderer known as the Crown Killer, and taken to the manor of the grand inventor of Serkonos, Kirin Jindosh. Billie, now desperate, returned to Dunwall to see that Delilah had indeed overthrown Emily. But instead of the royal protector, Emily herself showed up, and the two made their way to Serkonos to try to unravel this coup against Emily. Emily, with the help of Billie and the Outsider, eventually stopped the Crown Killer and rescued Sokolov from Jindosh. Emily then made her way towards Aramis Stilton's manor to try to figure out why Delilah returned, and realized that the ritual caused the void to leak into the manor, causing a temporal distortion. The Outsider gave Emily a device which allowed her to transition between the current day and the day the seance occurred. Emily, in the past, knocked out Stilton, preventing him from seeing the awful ritual, and ensuring he doesn't lose his sanity. And since Billie doesn't sense anything's wrong, she doesn't get into that fight, and keeps her arm and eye in the present. Emily was careful and merciful with dealing with her enemies, and didn't go on a bloody revenge-filled rampage. Billie noticed this, and mustered up the courage to tell Emily who she really was, and what she helped Dowd do to Emily and her family. Emily reacted by saying that she'd never forgive Billie for her actions, but she's a different woman than who she once was. After Emily reclaimed her throne and saved her father, Billie leaves her Megan Foster alias behind, and embraces her true identity as Billie Lurk. She hears from another former member of the Whalers that Dowd is still alive, somewhere in Karnaca, and heads off to find him.
There are things that never change, no matter how hard you try. Questions you must answer. As Megan Foster faded from the world, Billie Lurk stepped from her shadow, setting out to discover her truest self, and seeking the closest thing she'd ever known to family.
Not knowing that she had regained her arm and eye, due to Emily going into the past and preventing her maiming, she felt a sharp phantom pain in her arm and eye, But that'll come into effect later. She finds Dowd, now a much older man, being forced to fight in an underground fighting ring, under the name the Black Magic Brute, due to his powers granted to him by the Outsider. The Eyeless, a street gang that worships the Outsider, keeps him hostage, and put him in a cage that prevented him from using his powerful magic. Billie neutralized all of the Eyeless keeping him hostage, and shut down the machine suppressing Dowd's powers. Dowd, like a badass, teleports his way out of the cage, and after a heartfelt reunion with his former pupil, Dowd reveals to Billie that he has returned to his home of Karnaca to assassinate the god who gave him his powers. Billie, shocked, is unsure of what to say, but asks Dowd to meet her back at the Dreadful Whale. Back at the ship, Billie gets some rest, but is approached by the Outsider. The Outsider replaces the eye and arm she got back with pieces of the Void, granting her supernatural abilities. Dowd, now shocked to see what happened to Billie, explains why he wants to kill the Outsider. In Dowd's mind, he thinks that the Outsider is to blame for causing all the chaos and strife throughout the Isles. Also thinking that Delilah wouldn't have usurped Emily's throne, and he wouldn't have assassinated the Empress if he didn't have the Outsider's mark. Billie also learned that Dowd had completely forgiven her for betraying him all those years back, and, in fact, he blamed himself for her betrayal. The Outsider was once a young, homeless man, who was captured by a cult and sacrificed during a ritual within the Void, turning him into the god he is now. He was killed using a special twin-bladed knife, and Dowd figured that since this knife made him, it could kill him. And there were rumors going around that the leaders of the Eyeless were in possession of this knife. Just as she opens the safe and reaches for the knife, the Outsider appears and drags her into the Void. The Outsider tells Billie that the two of them are quite similar, both being homeless outcasts. Billie threatens him, saying that his days of poisoning people's minds with his magic are over, and that she's coming for him. He reveals to Billie that Dowd has died of old age aboard the Dreadful Whale. The Outsider releases her from the Void, and Billie rushes back to the ship, only to see the lifeless corpse of Dowd, her mentor, her flawed father figure. To mourn him, she sets the Dreadful Whale with Dowd's body on it ablaze, using it as a funeral pyre. She then promises to Dowd that she'd finish her mission and eliminate the Outsider. Billie steals a map to where the location to the Void is, and makes her way to an old abandoned silver mining complex atop Shinderay Peak. The cultists that took the Outsider's life away and made him a god are holed up in the complex and guarding the entrance to the area. Once Billie arrives, the Outsider tells her about how they murdered him and took his name away. He also tells her that his name can be found somewhere within the complex, and that they won't speak again, and the next time they see each other, she'll have to make a choice. While she explores the mine and takes care of some of the cultists, she learns that the Outsider's mark is his name, and it is written down in the language of the dead. She realizes, by giving his name back to him, he'll become human once again, and through this method, he doesn't have to die. Once she reaches the area where the Outsider was sacrificed 4,000 years ago, she comes across the spirit of Dowd, who asks Billie to end the Outsider's existence. Then she lays her eyes upon the Outsider. Instead of some unthinkable, unknowable horror, she sees a young man encased in stone, his face contorted in pure fear and pain. Billie thinks back to the time she betrayed Dowd, and how he spared her, and the time Emily let her go, even after she learned Billie helped kill her mother.
You don't deserve this. No one deserves this. I won't let the world turn on someone suffering.
Billie decides that the Outsider didn't deserve to have his life taken from him. Only the dead can read the mark of the Outsider, and since Dowd is only a spirit now, Billie asks him to say the Outsider's name to him, to free him from his torment, and to show him the same mercy that he showed her all those years back. Billie and Dowd argue about this for a short while, but Billie is eventually able to get through to Dowd.
I saw the cult who hurt him. He died once at their hands. Look at him. This wasn't his choice. He never asked for this power.
Then end it. Put him out of his misery if you pity him. It's a better future than anything that might wait for him out there.
But does he have to die? Years ago, I did something terrible to you. I didn't deserve to live. But you let me walk away. You gave me a chance. Let him live, Dowd. Let him have the life he lost. Like you did for me.
When you left Dunwall, I hoped you could live a better life without me. That your future wouldn't be killing for coin until someone came to betray you. Forgiveness is a rare thing in this world, Billie. You're better than I was.
Dowd.
Farewell, Billie. For the last time.
I can taste blood in my mouth. I can hear Dowd's voice in my ear. You have done something impossible.
We let you live. I can take you out of here.
These eyes were closed for centuries, and I saw everything. Bound here, I walked through the minds of generations. And now,
You're free.
With Dowd's spirit now at peace, and the Outsider no longer a god, Billie and the Outsider exit the mining complex. What happens to the two misfits next is not known, but perhaps Billie looks after the former Outsider, helping him live the life that was stolen from him so many years ago. When one first meets Billie Lurk, one sees a taciturn and stoic woman with little time for small talk. That's probably because she's put up her guard around you, as she does with most people. To the few she's chosen to trust, she's a devoted and caring friend. Like Dowd, she deeply regrets her past actions. She helped Dowd murder the Empress in front of her lover and 10-year-old daughter. I doubt there's not a day when she doesn't think about what she did. She also seems to be a very sentimental person, often dwelling on the past, and keeping mementos related to the people that she treasures most. She keeps pictures of Anton Sokolov, Emily Caldwin, and Aramis Stilton in her room, and an audio recording Dowd made, as well as his wanted poster from back during their assassin days. She also keeps a sketch of what Deirdre might have looked like if she was alive, in Billie's age. She also seems to be greatly influenced by the people around her, becoming more prone to merciful actions when other people close to her exhibit such feats of mercy. For example, not going through with betraying Dowd out of her respect for him, seeing the fact that he was truly sorry for his actions as a sign of strength instead of weakness, or arguing with Dowd about the Outsider's fate, bringing up the fact that Dowd let her live even after her betrayal. Billie Lurk was Dowd's second in command for a reason. Her skills in infiltration, swordsmanship, and assassination were second only to Dowd. Her skills with ranged weapons such as pistols or her wrist-mounted railgun were downright deadly. She's able to shoot out incendiary ammunition, electrical blasts, which can either knock out or evaporate a living target. And, more amusingly, she was able to use things like scalpels, nails, and even pens as improvised ammunition for her voltaic gun. She's fought highly trained City Watch officers and the Grand Circonan Guard, as well as cultists and deadly supernatural creatures called the Envisioned. She was highly skilled in the art of stealth, moving as silently as a shadow, and able to sneak past enemies effortlessly. Before she obtained the twin-bladed knife, she was already a formidable swordswoman. But after she did, she was able to shoot out bursts of energy from the blade. Billie Lurk was also a skilled tracker and survivalist, able to scrounge for food and water when they weren't so abundant. Dowd had an ability called Arcane Bond, which allowed Billie to use some of his powers, such as faster healing from wounds and teleportation. However, after she left the Whalers, she lost this ability. After her arm and eye were replaced with void artifacts, she regained her ability to teleport. She was also able to perfectly copy someone's appearance through an ability she gained called Semblance. She also had an ability called Foresight, which allows her to stop time and observe things out of her line of sight. Deirdre gave Billie a talisman that allowed her to listen to the thoughts of rats, which can be useful in certain situations where information gathering is needed. She can most certainly hold her own against the likes of Dowd, Emily, and Corvo. A troubled yet strong person who pulled herself out of darkness and showed a god the same mercy that she was shown. Billie Lurk proves herself to be a truly intriguing individual. I hope both Billie and the Outsider are okay wherever they are. And thank you once again, my friend, for stopping by. I'll see you next time.